Sir, my name is not changing. I'm not able to change my name.
I hope I'm visible and audible to everyone. Yeah, I will be doing that. 1 minute. We are done now. Okay. Also, all of you are required to turn your cameras on in the class. It is mandatory now for everyone to turn their cameras on in the class. Okay, now. Also, so far, there are different things we have learned in the chapter so far. What are the different groups of microorganisms we have learned about so far? Who will be telling me? Yes.
Bacteria,
Yeah.
virus,
Virus.
algae.
Not virus. We haven't covered that topic yet.
Oh, the part only we covered.
Mm-hmm.
Bacteria.
Bacteria. We discussed about bacteria. Were you present, Vaika, in the previous class?
No, sir.
Okay, that's why we don't know. Like we did learn about algae as well. We did learn about protozoa also
Oh,
in the
okay, sir.
previous class. We also be try to be a regular in every class, Vaika. Okay, no?
Okay, sir.
Mm-hmm. So in the previous class, we did learn about so many interesting things. Yeah, Jeffrey. Let me quickly recap. So Jeffrey is going to tell us what were the different things we learned about algo in the previous class. Yes, Jeffrey. Tell us about this concept. What we learned about this. Yes, Jeffrey. You are. Hope I'm audible to you. Also, Vaiga, you're also required to turn your camera on in the class.
Sir, actually, I joined from my phone, so it's a bit hard for me to on the camera.
Okay, no issue then. Yeah, Jeffrey. You have to explain what are the things we learned about algae in the previous class. Just few lines, few important points. Mention few important points we learned about it. Guess I'm not audible to him, or maybe some issue. Okay, Weiger, you tell us what are the different things we learned about bacteria so far.
Okay, sir. So like in bacteria, there are there are there are types of bacteria like based on the shape.
No, that comes later on. Now, first of all, you have to define bacteria. Their shape and all that comes later on. First of all, what are
Oh,
bacteria?
they're like small unicellular organisms,
Good.
and they're found like everywhere in our like surroundings, in air, water.
Yes. And are they eukaryotic or prokaryotic?
What's
Bacteria,
a
are they eukaryotes or prokaryotes?
prokaryotes?
Prokaryotes, good. Okay. Are they found to be living independent or in colonies? They are found to be living in colonies. Okay,
Yes,
na?
sir.
Ibrahim hasn't joined yet. No. And what else we learned about them? They are different shapes of bacteria.
Yes, sir. It's like spherical, spiral, the comma shaped.
Vibrio, good.
Yeah, vibrio.
Hmm.
Spirilla, cocci,
Hmm.
bacilli.
That's like rod shaped, right?
Yes, sir. Rod shape.
Very good. So different things we learned about that. Also, we learned that their body contains a cell wall, right? Now they have a cell wall in them, right? Okay. Also, they are some of them are useful for us, while some of them are harmful for us. Can you name some of their uses and how they are harmful for us? Meanwhile, Jeffrey, you have to recall what we learned in the previous class about protozoans.
Okay, so this bacteria helps in converting milk into curd by lactobacillus bacteria.
Very good.
And in plants, rhizobium, like it helps to take nitrogen from atmosphere.
Good. So it basically helps in nitrogen fixation,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay, then they are
And
known to cause some diseases as well.
yes, sir, like typhoid, cholera.
Typhoid, cholera. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So they are harmful and they are bad for us as well.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
So Jeffrey, you tell me what are the things we learned about protozoans in the previous class? By the way, were
Sir?
both of you present while we were learning about fungi?
No, sir.
You were not present, Vaiga. Jeffrey, were you
No, sir.
present? Yeah, Jeffrey,
So
were you present?
can you just change the slide, please? It just
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jeffrey, were you present while we were learning about fungi? Jeffrey, I suppose your mic is turned off and not able to hear anything from you. Hello? Your mic is not working, Jeffrey. It's not working. Maybe you are on mute or something. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, see, I'm going to quickly. No, Jeffrey, I'm still unable to hear it. Do one thing. Try joining the class from a different device or from a different ID, if possible, or try to rejoin the class. But do it quickly. I'm going to quickly give you revise this concept about fungi. Okay, now?
Sir,
Yeah.
now can you hear me?
Yeah. Now you're audible. You're audible now. Yeah, Aisha, how are you?
Fine, sir.
Okay, let me quickly get this thing to know, like what topics you guys have missed. Like some of you have joined the class later on. See, in the chapter, Aisha, were you present while we were learning about bacteria? Were all three of you present?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jeffrey, you were not
Yes,
present.
sir. Sir, I was present.
You were present. Okay. Okay. We learned about uses of bacteria. We learned about their uses. Diseases we are going to learn later on. Were all of you present while we were talking about fungi?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I was there. I was there.
Okay, Aisha,
Yes, sir. I was present.
you were present. Good then. Okay. What about alga? Were all of you present?
No, sir.
No. Jeffrey?
I was present.
Okay.
Sir, I
Wait,
was
sir. I think I was present.
Okay, you were present. See, this is happening because you guys, I think, do not revise the concept after the class. That's why you are
No,
having
sir.
a
Like I
difficult
know
time.
about algae, so I just get confused.
Okay, no issue. Jeffrey, what about you? Quickly tell me.
Sir, I was present.
Present. Good. Okay, so I'm going to quickly ask some questions from you guys that will tell me whether you guys revise the things or not. Okay, do tell me some of the names of bacteria. Name some bacterias.
Vibrio spirilla,
Hmm?
cocae,
Hmm? Those are the name of the shapes now. You have to tell the name of bacteria.
rhizobium bacteria,
Rhizobium,
lactobacillus.
lactobacillus. Good. Very good. Salmonella typhi is going to be there. So many of them are there.
Yes, sir.
Vibrio cholerae is known to cause cholera. Right? Okay. Then do tell me, what are the different uses of bacteria we have learned?
Bacteria is used to make. Bacteria is used for the formation of milk into curd,
Good.
and it is used um, in nitrogen fixation.
Okay, that is rhizobium bacteria. Good.
And
Sir, also in some medicines.
Yes,
bread,
to make some medicines good.
pastries, cakes, and
See,
etc.
see, then you are defining about yeast. There we make use of yeast actually. Okay, yeast, which is a fungi. So that is a different thing then. Okay, do give me two examples of alga.
Rhizobium, no, blue-green alga,
Hmm?
blue-green alga, and brown alga.
Brown alga. You have red alga. Then you have Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra. Have a look at these images. This one, Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra.
Sir,
Yeah.
like the algae, did you take the class on Thursday?
On Thursday. Yeah,
Thursday, actually, I was absent.
there was a class on Thursday.
Yes, sir. Thursday, I was absent.
Okay, see, I'm going to quickly revise this concept, then we are going to continue further. All of you are
Okay, sir.
required to turn your cameras on. Aisha, turn your camera on. See, we were learning about alga. We learned that just like um, we are going to later on learn about protozoans, that they are animal-like organisms. Similarly, alga are plant-like organisms because they do contain chlorophyll in them, which helps to photosynthesize it, which helps in the process of photosynthesis. So thereby, alga, they are autotrophic organisms. They can be unicellular, they can be multicellular as well. Okay, now some of the common examples of alga are as follows. You have kelp, you have red alga, you have brown alga. As you look at into these images, all these are alga. This Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra, they are also examples of algae. Or have a look at these examples like kelp that you see. Kelp or these seaweeds, all of them are actually alga. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
So since they are plant-like organisms, so it is obvious that they are going to possess cell wall in them.
Yes,
Isn't it
sir.
obvious, guys? They are going to have
Yes,
cell
sir.
wall. Okay. So let us quickly summarize what are the things done. First thing, they do have chlorophyll, hence they are plant-like organisms. Second thing, they have a cell wall in them. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Also, they can be unicellular as well as multicellular. Also, you guys tell me, is it going to be a prokaryotic or a eukaryotic organism?
I think
Prokaryotic.
eukaryotic.
No,
Eukaryotic.
it's eukaryote actually. Like bacterial cells are prokaryotes. Like if you were to look at
Yes, sir.
study the history of life evolution of different forms of life on earth, you get to know that billions of years ago, life that was present on earth, their cell structure was very simple. Their cell was not very well organized. They lacked a proper nucleus in them. But nowadays, we humans, different type of organisms, different type of microorganisms, except for bacteria and some other microbes, majority of them are eukaryotes. They have modern cells. So simple thing is that modern cells are called as eukaryotes. Okay, na?
Okay, sir.
So alga are also going to be eukaryotes. These things we learned. Then we also learned about the different uses of alga in the previous class. Like it would be used in making medicines. There are some products like antibiotics would be made from a alga called as chlorella. There is an alga by the name of chlorella. It it is used to make an important antibiotic called as chlorellin. Although these names are not very important, so don't get confused into that, or it's not that difficult to understand it. The simple thing is that some of the alga will be used to make antibiotics. You can answer in this manner if the question is asked in exam, to write some of the uses of alga. So you'd be writing that alga are used in making medicines like antibiotics. Okay. Furthermore,
Okay, sir.
like alga, like red alga and brown alga would be used to make products like agar and algin. Agar and algin, these are the products obtained from red and brown alga. So the question comes like, what is agar and algin? So agar, like gelatin, you might have heard of this gelatin that is used in like ice creams or jellies or
Yes,
making
sir.
thickening the
Yes, sir.
soups, right now.
Yes, sir.
So agar is it is used as an alternative for gelatin right now. So it is used in food products. Further, talking about algin, so algin also has got some uses. It would be used to make medicines that would be giving relief from arthritis. Arthritis, many old people would be complaining of pains in their joints. Yeah. So these were the uses of alga. Some more uses are as follows. Like there's a brown alga also, which is a good source of sodium, potassium, and iodine. So people consume it also right now. Look at this alga that is kelp, this brownish alga that you see over here. It's a good source of iodine. It's a good source of iodine, right? Talking about this red alga, for example. There's a alga by the name of porphyra. It is red in color. You know, it is directly consumed by people in countries like China and Japan as food, right now. So alga can be consumed as food also. Food products can be obtained from alga also. Then in agriculture also alga is used. Like these seaweeds that you see over here. Look at this image. This one, and this one. These are the different seaweeds. Weeds, you guys understand? These are the unwanted crops that grow on the
Yes,
land.
sir.
No? We learned in the crop production and management that chapter. Similarly, there
Yes,
are
sir.
some seaweeds also. These are kind of wild plants. You can understand it in that manner. These are some wild plants growing on the sea. So they can be added to the soil in order to enhance the fertility of the soil, since they are a rich source of different type of minerals like nitrogen and potassium. Seaweeds are rich in nitrogen and potassium, so thereby they can be used as manure to enhance the fertility of soil. Furthermore, there's an alga like blue-green alga. We have learned about rhizobium bacteria, but there's an alga called as blue-green alga that also helps in fixing the nitrogen from atmosphere to the soil. That also helps in nitrogen fixation. Getting it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Then, if you were to look at this first image, this one over here, so certain alga would be used to make jet fuel as well. This will be processed and it will be used as a fuel also. So alga can be used as a fuel also. All not in its raw form, it has to be processed. Then moments ago, I told you that some of the alga are edible. They would be eaten as food in China and Japan. Some of the
Yes,
alga
sir.
would be used as fodder. Fodder basically it's the food for the cattle, for herbivorous animals. So look at this image over here. That is a laminaria. No need to memorize its name. Just know this much that some of the algae can be used as fodder. So some
Okay.
seaweeds like laminaria can be used as fodder for sheep and cattle. Okay, no? So let us quickly summarize what are the uses of alga we have learned so far. We learned that some of the alga would be used in making medicines, to make antibiotics. Some of the alga would be used like from red alga and brown alga, you can obtain agar and algin. You can obtain products like agar and algin. Agar is used as alternative for gelatin. It will be added in ice creams, in making jellies, right
Yes,
now.
sir. Pudding.
Yeah. Yes, Ibrahim, how are you?
Fine, sir.
Then good. Algin would be used to make medicines that give relief from arthritis. We learned about that. We also learned about some of the edible algas like brown alga, kelp, or this red alga porphyra. They can be consumed as food. Many people consume that. In agriculture, also alga is used. So we'll have learned about the following things about alga. Then we are learning about protozoa in the previous class. We learned that they are unicellular organisms. Aisha, you were present in the previous class? I think
Yes, sir.
you were present, na? Good. Vaika, you were not present. Yeah. Let me quickly
No, sir.
recap this concept. We learned about protozoa that they are unicellular organisms. Some of them would be found to be living independently, while some of them would be living as parasites in the host organisms. Common examples include amoeba, paramecium, plasmodium, and anti-amoeba. This word protozoa, we learned that it literally means the first animal. So just like we learned about algae that they are plant-like organisms, so similarly protozoans, they are animal-like creatures. And most of them are going to be heterotrophic. That means they would be depending upon others for nutrition. Right now, they would be found in dirty water, in pond, rivers, seawater, dam, soil, etc. Some of the common diseases caused by them are dysentery and malaria. Right, we learned about some special protozoans like paramecium that have got leg-like structure called as cilia that helps it to move around and take in the food. It looks like a slipper, having a shape similar to that of a slipper. And I suppose all of you know about amoeba. It's also a protozoan. Many times the student confuse it for bacteria, but it's a protozoa. The special thing about it is that its shape is not fixed. It can grow leg-like structures whenever there's a food particle or its prey near to it. It will slowly start to cover its prey by forming false legs called as pseudopodia. Getting it, guys? Pseudo over here refers to false. It means false. And podia here means legs. So it forms false legs. Here you can see in this animation, it has been trapped. And where it will go? This prey will then go into the food vacuole. Vacuole, it's a kind of empty space where it will go into. Right now. So that prey will go into the food vacuole where this amoeba will be secreting some digestive juices. What happens? It secretes digestive juices. Some chemicals will be secreted inside this food vacuole, and that will help in digesting it by breaking down the body of prey. Hope you guys are getting it. Just like in our body also, what happens? You ingest the food, you digest the food, your body absorbs it, then assimilation takes place, and finally waste material is excreted from your body. Right now, we have learned about the steps of nutrition. You all would have learned in class 7.
Yes, sir.
Ingestion,
Yes, sir.
digestion, absorption, assimilation, and excretion. All this is going to happen in this amoeba. Also, is this amoeba? It's a single cell organism. Keep that in mind. It's a single cell organism. So those were the things we learned. We learned about some of the diseases caused by protozoa. Like the most common one, you'd have heard of malaria. Malaria, dysentery, most common. But there are some other diseases also you might not have heard of, like amoebiasis. That is also caused by protozoa. Right now? So if someone suffers from amoebiasis, so he would be suffering from diarrhea or dysentery. There could be blood and mucus in the stool. So it can be very severe. And most common carrier or transmitter of this disease called as amoebiasis is the housefly. Right now, so housefly, one should try to keep the room in a hygienic condition and keep the food closed. Right now, because housefly is also like kind of can be very dangerous for the health. So amoebiasis is caused by a protozoa named Anti-amoeba histolytica. The name is not important. Just know that amoebiasis is one such disease that is going to infect our gut. Okay, now? So hope you guys have understood that. Then there was another interesting disease called as African sleeping sickness. Why? Can anyone guess why it was named so African sleeping sickness?
Because it was first found in Africa.
Exactly. African sleeping sickness, it was found in that area right now. So it's a disease caused by an infection right now with the infection by this protozoa named as trypanosoma right now. So trypanosomiasis, it is also called as African sleeping sickness basically. So in this person would be suffering from headache, obviously he would be feeling dizziness all the time. There'd be swelling on his skin, rashes on his skin, etc. Main thing we were learning about is malaria. Okay, who will tell me the name of the protozoa that is responsible for this disease?
A female Anopheles mosquito.
That's the transmitter, no? That's the carrier of the disease.
So I think it's like
Plasmodium.
plasmodium, something like that. Plasmodium, yeah.
Very good. Plasmodium, right now. So there's a protozoa by the name of Plasmodium that is responsible for causing this, right? So what basically happens? What basically happens? It's a malaria. It's a life-threatening disease that would be caused by Plasmodium. That would be transmitted to people through the bites of infected female anopheles. So if there's a infected female anopheles right now, so in his belly, there would be in his belly and in his mouth that if it is infected and if it were to sit on the body of a healthy person, so thereby it is going to transmit that parasite, transmit that plasmodium, right? So say this is a hand of an infected person. I'm revising this concept, we have learned about it previously as well. This is the hand of an infected person, and in his red blood cells this plasmodium will be found to be living in his red blood cells, right? And if this a mosquito were to bite this person, so thereby this plasmodium will also go into the body of this mosquito. And that particular mosquito is female anopheles, by the way. Male mosquitoes are not known to feed on the human blood. You will always found the male mosquitoes around the plant bodies, around the plants. You know that. You happen to go to a garden or to a jungle, there also you were going to find lots of mosquitoes around the plant leaves. You know that mosquito is actually the male mosquito. Most of them are the male mosquitoes. The reason why female mosquito needs to suck on the human blood, can anyone answer that question to me? Why do female mosquitoes feed on the human blood? Anyone? Yes, Ibrahim, Weiger, Jeffrey, Aisha. The most simple reason is that it requires lots of nutrition in order to lay eggs. Female mosquito has to lay thousands and thousands of eggs now. And in order to do so, it requires lots of nutrition that it is getting from the human blood or from the blood of animals. That is the reason. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as soon as it bites the hand of this infected person, so this plasmodium will go into the body of this person, right? And if it were to sit on, if this mosquito were to bite a healthy person, thereby this will be transmitting that plasmodium parasite. Okay, now. Furthermore, we have learned there are different uses of protozoa. Right now, although they're not a wide range of use of protozoa, but they are important in few manners, like they are important in the seafood chain. Like protozoans would be eating algae. Protozoans would be eating algae, and in return, they would be eaten by bigger animals. Right now. So in the food chain, they are helping in the water body. So that's what we learned. Let us learn about viruses today. Right now, viruses are the smallest of all the microorganisms. Remember, we were learning about the bacteria. There, I did told you that you'd be learning about viruses, and you'd get to know that viruses are even bigger than them. Sorry, I mean to say viruses are even smaller than the bacteria. So they are the smallest of all. Getting it, guys? So one important thing we are going to learning about vaccine also, because virus, vaccine, both of them are very related. Okay. So they
Yes,
are
sir.
the smallest of all the microbes, and they are said to be so small that 500 million rhinoviruses, which causes the common cold, could fit into the head of a pin. If you were to have head of a pin, for example, this is a pin, let us say. So into just this head of a pin, 500 million rhinoviruses can fix. How many? 500 million. So just imagine the number. Getting it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Furthermore, let us learn what are the different properties of this virus. So one common thing we have learned, they are the smallest, right? And another thing is that they can reproduce only inside the cells of the host organisms. If they are outside the body of any host organisms, they will not show any movement or any vital signs like most of the living organisms. Like if you were to look at an amoeba, amoeba is a bacteria or protozoan. Yes, Aisha? Amoeba is a bacteria or a protozoa?
Protozoa.
Protozoa. So when you will look it under a microscope, like you can do it, what you can do, no, like from your garden, you can just take some soil, dissolve it into water, and in that water you can find some amoeba. It will obviously be present. You can take some water from the pond, from drain. So you will find that it will show some movement, that amoeba will be moving, right? Now it will show some movement. But when you look at a virus under a microscope, it will not show any movement, right? Now, but as soon as it finds a host body, then it will start to grow. It can make any animal, any plant a host organism. If it can even make a bacteria a host organism, it can make even a bacteria a host organism. How? See, look at the different shapes. For example, over here, look at the shape of the red blood cell. This bacteria, the lysosome, it's a structure found inside your cell. The virus causing influenza, HIV virus, and the size of the SARS-CoV-2 virus, right? Look at the size of these three viruses. All these three are virus. And look at the size of this bacteria. Hmm? So can't virus enter the body of bacteria? Can't they enter inside the body of bacteria?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Obviously they can enter, no? So the viruses are known to make even bacteria their host organisms. Host organism, I believe everyone knows that. It's basically the organism
Yes,
on
sir.
which a parasitic animal organism would be feeding upon. So like that, just like you have so many different types of parasites. Some of the parasites are unicellular, some of them are multicellular. Like you have leech, you have different type of bugs. Some of the bugs are also there. Lice, right? Now, or in the case of plant, you would have also studied about different type of parasites. Like you would have heard about cascata. Anyone heard of cascata or amarbale?
No, sir.
No. Okay.
Sir, cascara, it's a plant, right?
Yeah, cascata, it's a plant. It's a parasitic
Yes, sir.
plant.
Yes, sir, I know.
Good. So anyway, that's a different thing. We'll be going somewhere else then. See, talking about viruses, so far we learned it's the smallest of all the microorganisms, right? And they can make uh, animals, plants, and even the bacteria as their host organisms. They can make plants, bacteria, and animals as host organisms. Okay. Now, viruses do not show most of the characteristics of a living thing when it is outside the body of a host organisms. Like viruses, they do not respire. They won't respire. You understand what is respiration, right? They will also not be feeding upon the food. No feeding on
Yes,
food.
sir.
They will not show any growth. Neither will they be excreting. If they're not eating something, what they will be excreting, right? Right? And no movement. So when they are outside the body of a host organism, they are not showing all these movements. When it has not entered into my body, it will not do anything. So what happens? Viruses, they are able to do all these things once they enter the body of the host organism. As it will enter into my body, then it will be able to do all the things. It will be able to reproduce. It will be able to reproduce and multiply and do all these things. Getting it now? So as long as viruses are outside the living cells, they behave as non-living things. But as soon as the viruses enters the living cells of other organisms, they start behaving as living things. So they are called as connecting link between living and dead. What do we call them as? Connecting link between living and dead. Getting it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Connecting link between living and death. So hope you guys have understood. Okay, no?
Yes.
So they are kind of on the borderline dividing the living things from non-living things, right? Also, viruses are kind of agents of diseases. Viruses are agents of disease. They cause a variety of disease in human body. Like you would have heard of polio, chicken pox, or smallpox. These are the diseases
Yes, sir.
all of you would have heard of right now.
Yes, sir.
So they are known to cause a variety of diseases like chicken pox. One moment. Chicken pox, polio virus is there, polio is there. Then you have a smallpox, or you have diseases like measles that will be infecting the skin, or influenza. Influenza basically that is flu or common cold. Apart from them, there are some diseases like AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency disease. That is a sexually transmitted disease. Sexually transmitted disease that is also caused by a virus. We're going to learn about that later on. Okay, now. So these are some of the common diseases caused by the viruses. Recently, we have learned about. In fact, there's been a pandemic recently. So that was also due to the virus SARS-CoV-19 virus. Okay. Then, who is this person? Dmitry Ivanovsky. Dmitry Ivanovsky. So this person had great contribution in the field of virology. Dmitry Ivanovsky had great contribution in this field. Getting it, guys? So first of all, let us understand what did he do in this field? What did Dmitry Ivanovsky, what was his contribution? So he was a botanist, or he was the first person to have discovered the viruses. Getting it, guys? The reason why I have taken his image and we are learning about him is because he was a botanist of his botanist. You guys understand who is a botanist? The one who studies about plants, different type of plants. Getting it, right?
Yes, sir.
But interestingly, he was the discoverer of virus. Okay, no? He was one of the discoverer of virus. Or he was not the only discoverer. There were other peoples also, but he was the most important of them all. Right now. See, he was discoverer of virus. And virology is the study of viruses and the infections they cause. So there's a subject called as virology in which we study about different types of viruses and the infections that they cause. Hope you guys have understood this. Okay, now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And also look at the different types of viruses based on their shape. Like they could be polyhedral, they could be enveloped, helical shaped, or complex shape. Right? So there could be different types of viruses based on their shape as well. Okay. Then one question is that how are they different from other microbes? Like how viruses are different from protozoa, bacteria, fungi? How are they different? Answer this.
It is the smallest of among the all.
Good. It is the smallest and
It will only reproduce.
exactly. It will only reproduce and show life movements when it enters the body of a host organism.
Yeah,
Getting it?
host. Yes, sir.
So that is the thing about it. Okay, now. So hope you guys have understood this one as well. And these are some of the other examples of viruses. Moments ago, we learned about diseases caused by them. Some of the examples are HIV. HIV virus has got a enveloped shaped. Okay, no? It has an enveloped shaped. Hepatitis B also has a enveloped shape. Influenza virus also has got a enveloped shape, right? Now, enveloped, you guys understand, like something which is being covered by another thing, like you envelop it.
Yes, sir.
I think these are the protein structures. You'd be studying about it in higher classes. These are protein structures found on them. Anyways, that's a different thing. Then look at this adenovirus that has a polyhedral shape. Okay, it has a polyhedral shape. Then this bacteriophage, which is another virus, it has got a complex shape. Complex, very good. Right now, so hope you guys have understood that. Then advantages of viruses are very few because most of them are known to cause most of them are known to cause disease. Okay, now see, since viruses are very small, they are the smallest of all, the smallest of all microorganisms. Okay, now so viruses can be utilized as vectors or carriers, transporting the material needed to treat a disease or various target cell. This you can understand in this manner. Let us say that this is a cell in your body. This is a cell in your body, let us say. And as compared to this is the size of a virus. So there's a huge difference between the size of this virus and a cell. So suppose in your body something has to be transported to this cell in order to repair it. Something has to be transported to this cell to repair it. So thereby viruses can be used as carrier. It could be used as carrier. Getting it? There's no need to be like get confused in this. It's a bit simple thing. Say for example, you want to transport you. Let us say a particular group of cells in our body. It is, let us say, it is damaged. Okay, it is damaged, and we have to repair those group of cells. So in order to repair it, it requires something. Let us say it requires some medicines, and that medicine have to be provided to those particular group of cells. So thereby we need a carrier. Let us say we need a kind of vehicle, let us say a transport medium, right? Now that will carry the required material to that cell. So you can use this virus. We can take help of some viruses. So some of the viruses are utilized as carriers, transporting the material needed to treat a disease. So let us say something is being carried onto this. Let us say this is the material which is stick to this virus, and this virus will go inside the cell and help in repairing it. Did you guys are you guys able to understand this?
Sir, can you
Yes.
repeat again, sir?
Aisha, did you understood this? Jeffrey?
No, sir.
A bit complicated, yeah?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. See, basically the simple thing is now, see, in our body, normally we do take medicines to treat our, if you're sick, our cells are damaged, your tissues are damaged, organ is impacted. So we take medicines, right? But you see, nowadays some studies are being done, and in that studies we have found that since viruses are so small now, and once they go into our body, they start to multiply rapidly. They start to treat us as host, and I mean to say that we become the host organism for them, and they start to multiply in a rapid number, and they will be can move from one place to another. Obviously they will show all the traits of a living organism. So say this part in my body is, let us say, it is damaged. The cells in this part of my body is damaged. So I can take help of this viruses also. I can take help of some viruses also. Say for example, I would be taking them in the form of vaccines. I would take them in the form of vaccines, and in that I would have mixed some medicines also. So that will go to that particular target in my body, and it will help to treat that. Okay, no? So that
Yes,
is the
sir.
thing about it. Okay, now So that is one advantage. Another advantage is that with the help of virus, nanoscale materials are also being arranged. Huh? So you should understand, like, with the help of viruses, nanoscale materials are also being arranged. See, what basically thing is that, first of all, if you were to look at the size of the viruses, they are very small. They are very small right now. So in the field of biotechnology, you would have heard of biotechnology. Anyone
Yes,
heard
sir.
of biotechnology?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
No. See, uh, bio basically refers to living organisms, and technology in this we basically use certain kind of tools now. Yes. So we are developing different kind of tools using life forms, different living organisms. Getting it? So say for example, what we are going to do in this now, with the help of virus, nanoscale materials are being arranged. So basically the thing is that, about this now, like you want to build a very small size of tool in the body, a nano tool in the body that would be used to um, treat the cells. There also viruses can be used. It's a bit complicated, but try to understand it in this manner. There are certain kind of nano tools, nano tools that can be built using the nano tools, meaning that they would be, nano means having a extremely small size, having a very extremely small size, like it's a size ranging in this measurement 10 raised to the power 9 meter. Getting it? So
Yes,
there
sir.
also viruses can be used in order to make nano tools, like it could be used in genetic engineering, in genetic materials, huh? In order to, like, you'd have heard of mutations, you would have heard, like, we can do some change in the genetic material, right? So if we want to alter the genetic materials, so there also viruses can be taken help of. Anyways, but usually in the exam you won't be asked about the advantages of virus, but still, if like for having, you should know about this also. Yeah, viruses also have got some of the uses, although it's not that much important, but they do have got some uses. Now talking about disadvantages of viruses. So viruses are infectious organisms that are known to cause a range of diseases in the human body. And
Yes, sir.
eradicating a viral disease many times becomes very difficult. Okay. Also, their rate of transmission is very rapid. They can transmit from one person to another in a very rapid manner. See, there was a scientist by the name of Dr. Edward Jenner. He created the world's first successful vaccine. You all would have heard about vaccine. So
Yes, sir.
vaccine is basically what? It's the weaker version of viruses. Suppose a person is suffering from a virus, infection of a virus. So in order to treat that person, a vaccine is basically given. Not, I mean to say, in order to save a person from infection of a viral disease, vaccines are being given. Many people would have taken corona vaccine or other vaccines. People take
Yes, sir.
when children are given polio vaccines. Uh, so what this Dr. Edward Jenner did now, he created the world's first successful vaccine. He found out that people infected with cowpox were immune to smallpox. What happened now? There were some lady, like milkmaid. You understand what is a milkmaid?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You understand? No? Just like there's a milkman, similar there's a milkmaid also. So milkmaid were infected with cowpox. Obviously, they caught this infection from the cows, hence the name cowpox. So the milkmaid, they were infected with cowpox virus. Okay, since they were working with the cows, hence they were infected with the cowpox virus. But it was found that they were not affected by the smallpox. The milkmaid who were already infected with the cowpox, so um, they were not infected with the smallpox. So in this way, he created the world's first vaccine using the cowpox virus. He prepared the vaccine for a smallpox. So what he did now, he at that time technology was not that much developed. So what he simply did now, he would take some sample of cowpox virus. He would take some sample of cowpox virus, and he would be rubbing it on the skin of healthy persons. Right now, so he would be rubbing it on the skin of healthy persons, and then that person now will be immune to smallpox. He will not be infected with the smallpox. All of you understood this or not? Please tell me.
Yes, sir. But sir, cowpox is also a disease, right?
That is also a disease, but the thing is that those people, particularly the milkmaid who had caught this small cowpox virus earlier, now they were immune to smallpox, meaning that now they were not infected with the smallpox.
Okay, sir.
Aisha, you understood this? Ibrahim, Jeffrey?
Yes, sir.
Okay, na? So Dr. Edward Jenner created the first successful vaccine. Right? Okay. So he would basically collect the cowpox viruses, and he would be basically rubbing it on the skin of healthy person. In this manner, he did so. Now, now furthermore, you need to understand what is vaccination. So vaccination is basically administration of a vaccine to help the immune system develop immunity from a disease. What basically happens here? Say, for example, you had someone is taking COVID-19 vaccine, let us say. There are different types of COVID vaccines available. So someone takes a particular COVID vaccine. So what that vaccine is going to contain? So this bottle of vaccine is basically going to contain live or weakened virus. What does it contain? Simply contains live or weakened virus, right now? Or it could basically take some part out of that virus. It can simply take some part out of that virus. So that is what a vaccine basically contains. It is made by a live or weakened virus. A live or weakened virus. So once it would be given into the healthy body of a person, so thereby what happens now? Your body will start to develop some antibodies. Our body develops some antibodies. So once antibodies will be prepared in your body, it will remain in your body. Let me repeat what happens. Say that you have taken a vaccine. You have taken some vaccine. Those vaccine basically is that a vaccine is basically made up of a live and weakened virus. That is not a very strong virus. So once a person takes that vaccine, it is not going to cause some serious disease in that person. He might have slight fever, slight weakness, that much only. Getting it, guys, so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. In response to that weak virus, your body is going to create some antibodies, a body against it. It is going to prepare the immune system by making suitable antibodies. So when a vaccine is introduced into a healthy body, the body fights it, and then it will be killing them by producing suitable kind of antibodies. Okay. Then these antibodies will remain in the blood. It is going to remain in the blood. In your body, it is going to remain, and it will protect your body. Now, what happens? Let us say now the actual and the strong virus were to enter the body. Strong or actual virus, if that were to enter into the body, then your body has already prepared the antibodies now. So that will quickly recognize that virus. Getting it, guys? It will
Yes,
quickly
sir.
recognize that virus, and then it will be fighting with it. So you have given your body a kind of memory. The body will recognize this virus and will fight it and protect you from this virus when it enters again. So that is how vaccine basically works in your body. Hope you guys have understood this.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Ibrahim, you got it. Aisha, Jeffrey, and Vaiga.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Good. So that is the thing. Hope you guys have understood this. Okay. So do tell me who developed the vaccine for smallpox.
Dr. Edward Jenner.
Dr. Edward Jenner. So what did he notice? He noticed that milkmaids who had previously contracted the cowpox, they were immune to smallpox. So what basically he said that he kind of theorized that those who had exposure to cowpox, it can be used to protect against smallpox. Right now. So that is the. In fact, he did what he did now. He there was a boy like he kind of did a practical also. Huh? He basically an 8-year boy volunteered for his experiment. There was an 8-year old boy who volunteered for his experiment. What he did now, he basically took sample of cowpox virus and rubbed on the hand of that boy. And what he discovered that the boy was not immune to smallpox virus. Perhaps millions of people have died from a smallpox virus. At that time, millions of people were dying from the from this virus. Okay, no.
Yes.
Also, like a smallpox virus, it has been said to be like globally eradicated in the early 1970s. But still, there are few cases of smallpox today also. So it was one of the greatest achievement in the human history. Can you guys guess how many people died from smallpox?
More than 5,000.
Not 5,000. Over the course of history, around 300 to 500 million people worldwide have died from this disease. How many? 300 to 500
500
million. Since 1900 alone. Since the year 1900 alone. Right now, so it was one of the greatest achievement in the history development of this smallpox virus. So guys, that's it for today. We'll be meeting in next class then. Lots of things are left to be discussed in this class. Like later on, we'll be, after having done some questions, we'll be learning where microorganisms are found, where do they live, and are they found inside our body also? Huh? What places inside the body they are found to be living in right now? There are few things we would be revisiting about the concept of fermentation. Usually question is asked from this, so we would be revisiting this concept. Okay. Furthermore, we are going to learn about diseases. What are the types of diseases? Okay, those things are left to be discussed in the next class. We'll be finishing this chapter. Okay, now
Okay,
that's
sir.
it for today. We'll be meeting in next class then.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Yes, bye.